Uncover the wisdom of the feminine through soulful conversations on spirituality, healing, relationships, self-leadership, sovereignty, and so much more. I'm your host, Tamar, Gail, feminine embodiment facilitator, feminine arts mentor, and soul tantrika. In this podcast, my goal is to take you deeper into the world of the feminine, stepping more into your feminine pleasure, power, authentic truth, and your sovereignty. Welcome to the Feminine Codes podcast. Today, we're diving into a topic that every woman needs to master, and that is how to vet a romantic partner. Because let's be honest, in today's world of fast-paced dating, swiping, mixed signals, and endless options, it's more important than ever to know how to discern who is truly worthy of your heart, your energy, and your devotion. Your womb and your heart, ladies, are so sacred, and not every men are worthy of being allowed into that sacred space. And so we need to learn how to discern when a man is right for us or not. And so this topic of vetting, and first of all, let me say that I am not a relationship or a love coach. I am not. This comes from my own experience and my own learning how to vet a partner because of my past experiences with men. So first, I want to go into what it means to have discernment and how to develop the gift of discernment. So developing the gift of discernment is about cultivating your intuitive wisdom, your deep inner knowing, and the ability to distinguish truth from illusion. So here are some key ways to strengthen your gift of discernment. One of those is to strengthen your intuition, spending time in stillness daily, meditation, prayer, reflection, starting to pay attention to your gut feelings and those subtle nudges that you get and honoring those. And then keep a journal on your intuitive insights. And this is so that you can begin to track your insights and patterns. And the second one is to develop your self-awareness. Keep your values and your core beliefs so that you can measure everything against them. And then notice emotional reactions. Discernment isn't just about feeling, it's also about understanding why you feel a certain way. And the third one is seek wisdom and knowledge. And that could be reading and listening to perspectives from wise mentors, spiritual leaders, and trusted sources. Study psychology, philosophy, spirituality in order to deepen your understanding of human nature. One of the men that I really began to listen to help me understand vetting was a man that I found on YouTube, and his name is R.C. Blakes. I highly recommend to listen to him. I went through so many of his videos, and it really, really helped me understand the vetting process. So number 4 is practice observation without judgment. Watch people's actions, not just their words, especially when it comes to men. The words and the actions have to align. And there's a lot of talk. So make sure that you're watching a man's actions. Remember in my last episode, I spoke about how men show their love. It's through actions, not so much through their words. Notice patterns in behavior. You can begin to notice your patterns and your behavior and the patterns and behaviors of others around you. And this is something that we go into in any of the work that I do, especially in my one-on-one practice with women. We go into tracking your own patterns in behavior. This way, you begin to understand yourself as a woman. Also, it helps you begin to see the patterns and behavior of others and begin to notice and track that as well. Don't rush to conclusions. Let the situations reveal themselves to you. And that's something that I find that most of us women have difficulty doing, because we immediately jump to the stories in our head and we rush to conclusions instead of sitting back and watching. And this in itself is a very big gift when we can master the art of sitting back and observing and watching and letting someone reveal who they truly are. Number 5, test the energy of situations. Ask yourself, does this feel aligned with truth, with love, with integrity? And then step back before making any decision so that you can sense the energy of a situation. And so learn to detach from emotionally charged reactions. Emotions are important, but discernment requires a balance between your heart and your mind. So pause before making any decisions when your emotions are running high. The 7th step to gaining discernment is to pray or ask for divine guidance. If you are spiritually inclined, then ask for clarity and confirmation through prayer, through signs, through deep contemplation, and you'll receive it. As I've said before, I have asked and prayed multiple times in my relationship to be shown the truth, and I was always given the answer. Number 8, and the last one that I will give you on discernment, is to trust but verify. Discernment is about trust and wisdom, but confirm the facts and pay attention to consistency in people's words and their actions. Make sure they align. So now that we've covered discernment, what does it mean to vet a man? Vetting a man isn't about being cynical or overly guarded, and we can do that whenever we've been hurt so many times in the past. It's really about being wise. It's about ensuring that your heart, your body, and your energy are invested in someone who is truly aligned with your values, your desires, and your feminine essence. So today we're going to talk about what qualities to look for in a high-value masculine man, how to recognize red flags early on in the dating process, the role of your feminine intuition in the vetting process, and why pacing the relationship is so important. Because when you embody your feminine energy while practicing discernment, you create space for a relationship that feels both deeply passionate and safe. So let's start with the green flags. If you're looking for a relationship that's grounded in love, trust, and deep polarity, then you want to pay attention to these specific qualities, and that is integrity. Does he do what he says he's going to do? And do his words and actions align? And then making sure that he doesn't leave you guessing. Emotional maturity. Making sure that he's capable of handling conflict with presence, not avoiding the situation. And that he's able to take accountability without being defensive. Leadership and direction. He's clear on what he wants and he takes initiative, whether that's planning a date, leading the relationship forward, or making decisions with confidence. Another quality that's important is that he has steady presence. He doesn't create emotional chaos. He instead brings a grounding masculine energy that allows you to relax into your feminine. He has a commitment to growth. He's always evolving, not just for you, but also for himself. And that is super important. He can't be doing that for you. It has to be coming from within him. And he actively works on becoming the best version of himself. He has respect for your feminine energy. He doesn't just tolerate your emotions, your intuition, or your radiance. He cherishes it. He wants to protect it, not suppress it. He wants to protect the depth of your feminine heart. These qualities aren't optional. Ladies, they are the foundation of a healthy, thriving relationship. So now that we've covered the key traits of a high-value masculine man, now let's talk about the signs that a man is not relationship material. Because one of the biggest mistakes women make is ignoring the red flags in the name of potential. And so here are major red flags to watch out for. Inconsistency. He's hot and cold, love bombing you one day and then disappearing the next. He's not grounded in his masculine energy. Because a man who is serious about you will be consistent. The avoidance of hard conversations. If he shuts down, deflects, or refuses to take accountability when he's challenged, then you're dealing with an emotional, immature man. Another red flag is that he has no clear intentions. If he's vague about where the relationship is going or keeps you in a cycle of confusion, then he's either unsure or he's stringing you along. Either way, that's a no. If you feel like you have to earn his love, if you're constantly overgiving, over-explaining, or feeling like you need to prove your worth, this means there's an imbalance in polarity, because a true masculine man will claim you, not leave you guessing. And then the last one that I will share today is disrespect for your boundaries. If he pushes, ignores, or even subtly manipulates you into compromising your standards, walk away fast. Red flags don't mean you need to fix him. And this is something that I feel like a lot of women tend to try to do or feel like you can do, but we can't. When you see these red flags, it means that you need to choose differently. He can go fix himself. I think that there are many times that we see what we consider red flags that can be coming from our own wounding. And so this is where the gift of discernment is also really important. But I give you these key red flags, these major red flags to watch out for. And these are ones that should not be ignored. You will know, your body knows when something is off. Your intuition knows before your mind catches up. So having this gift of discernment and being connected with your intuition and being connected with your body is very, very important in the vetting process when you're dating. And if you don't feel like you have a strong connection to your intuition, to your body's signals, that you don't trust that, then this is something that we need to work on. And I will highly encourage you to connect with me on that, whether it's the Royal Codes and Embodiment Circle, or if it's the app that I have that I'm about to launch, or if you want to do one-on-one sessions with me, womb work, in order to connect with your intuition, to be able to trust yourself, then let's connect. Have you ever been in a situation where everything seemed great on paper, but something inside of you felt off? Maybe it was a subtle tightening in your chest or a slight unease in his presence, a quiet knowing that you really tried to ignore, but you kept having this feeling in the pit of your stomach. That's your feminine intuition speaking. And the more that you honor it, the easier it becomes to see clearly. Here are some ways that you can use your intuition while dating. Pay attention to how you feel around him. Do you feel safe, adored, and seen? Or are you feeling anxious, unsure, and constantly seeking validation? Then watch for how he responds to your boundaries. A good man is going to respect them. A low-value man will continue to push, manipulate you, or give you guilt trips in order to break through your boundaries. Notice his consistency. A man's energy should feel stable, not like an emotional roller coaster. And then trust your first instincts. If someone feels off, don't gaslight yourself into staying. Your body is speaking to you. Listen, I made this mistake one time, and it will be possibly one of my greatest regrets ever in my life. My intuition told me to run. And I eventually, after being pursued for so long, gave in. And it was the wrong choice. And it led to me finally understanding and developing the gift of discernment and learning how to vet any future potential partner, which is why I am so adamant about sharing these things with you, sharing you ways that you can learn to trust your body, learn to trust your intuition, to have sovereignty, autonomy, and learn the gift of discernment in every aspect of your life, not just relationships. As I said, I'm not a relationship coach, but I want to see you fully standing in your power as a woman. One of the biggest mistakes that women make is rushing the emotional process before a man has really proven himself. A high-value man will not be scared away by your standards, believe me. In fact, they will be a challenge for him to rise. But in order to see if he is truly aligned with you, you have to pace the relationship. And this means not rushing into any deep emotional intimacy before this trust has been built. Let him show you consistency over time, not just in the first few weeks. You're not going to see someone's true intentions or colors, so to speak, in the first couple of weeks. It can easily be hidden. So give it time. Don't rush. Observe how he handles challenges, not just with you, but in his life. Not just the way he treats you when everything is good. A man is going to reveal his true character over time. If he's the right one, he'll meet your pace and he'll prove his devotion. If he's not, he will self-eliminate. Either way, you're going to win. You are the prize. Vetting a man isn't about fear. It's about having self-respect. It's about knowing that your heart, your body, and your energy are sacred, and not just anyone gets to have access to them. So my question to you is this: are you willing to choose yourself first? Are you willing to walk away from potential and only invest in a man who has already shown you with the love, leadership, and integrity that you deserve? Because the right man will meet you there. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If this resonates with you, share it with a sister who needs to hear it. I know there's so many out there that do. And let's continue the conversation. Until next time, stay in your feminine, trust your intuition, and never settle for anything less than the love that you were made for.